Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene wants you to know that she is not full of crap, unlike that Mike Johnson guy.
They know I mean exactly every single word I say, and I'm not full of shit just like Mike Johnson is, and I'm actually going to follow through with actions instead of lie to people on television and in press conferences and out on the campaign trail.
Okay, those are some words. Some fighting words right there. So why don't we dive into it? For one, I actually think both of you are full of crap. You're little stuff, crap stuffed raviolis, okay? That's what you are, all right? Marjorie Greene, for example, what was the whole thing about the
Jewish space lasers?
All the QAnon conspiracy theories, the election denial, which, by the way, same thing with Mike Johnson, with his election denial, the nonstop verbal diarrhea from Marjorie Greene. You know those chocolate fountains that people have at like big parties, like rich people have it? I've never had a chocolate fountain before. And I don't even know if it's just a rich person thing. It's for people who really love chocolate. Well, anyway, Marjorie Greene is like a chocolate fountain, but instead of chocolate, it's poop. That's what it is, all right? So it's really funny that she is out there accusing others of being full of crap. Now, that said, she's not wrong. Okay, what she is the pot calling the kettle black. All right? So what this is about, ultimately, is the FISA bill, right, in the NDAA. Johnson just voted and allowed for warrantless spying in on Americans who talk to people overseas or who live overseas. So this is Section 702. I am not a fan of this section, because it allows the government to collect your personal and private communications even when you're doing nothing wrong, talking to somebody overseas or living overseas. Like, that's ridiculous. Now, a court order released last year from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, which oversees the use of FISA spying tools, shows that the FBI had repeatedly violated its own standards for searching Section 702 data for information about American citizens. That is clearly an abuse of what the law was supposed to do, to protect Americans. It's a disastrous law. I'm, of course, for getting warrants. You should get a warrant if you want to search for people's private information. Section 702 is a violation of that, and it doesn't even help our national security at all. It violates your privacy for no gain whatsoever. There's no cases at all of any information gleaned from the use of Section 702 being used to stop a terrorist attack. It is a worthless law. It is a useless law. It does not work. It infringes upon the American people's rights and our privacy. It's got to go. MAGA Mike Johnson says, no, we're going to keep it in there. And he said, well, I was in a classified briefing, and now I'm in favor of it. Oh, okay. Don't care. I don't care. There's no justification for allowing the government to go in and take our personal private information without a warrant. That's why I don't like it, and I'm very clear about that. But the reason Marjorie Greene doesn't like it is not because of this. It's because Donald Trump doesn't like it, and Donald Trump doesn't like it because he has no idea what it is. He believes that this is the reason that the FBI was able to spy on his campaign. It goes all the way back to the Spygate. Okay? So Trump wrote on Truth Social Wednesday, quote, "Kill FISA. It was illegally used against me and many others. They spied on my campaign." No, that's actually not true. His claims about FISA 702 being used to illegally spy on his campaign are just, again, lies. Complete and utter BS. Okay? That's not what happened. But since we are talking about people who are perpetually full of shit, here we are, talking about Trump. The FBI, when it got, basically their warrant to surveil Carter Page, who was a Trump campaign aide, they did not use Section 702's collection system. They didn't. What they wanted to do, the FBI's counterintelligence team, they went to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court for a warrant to surveil Page. to see whether or not he was communicating with Russian assets. I guess I could see why there's a little bit of confusion, except there was a warrant here. In this case, in Trump's case, in his campaign, they got a warrant. That said, the DOJ Inspector General did find faults with the approval process for said warrant. All right. So that is an issue. That is definitely an issue here. All right. That said, the Inspector General, as well as Donald Trump's specially appointed special counsel, John Durham, both ended up concluding that the investigation into Page was properly opened, and once again, there was a warrant involved, completely different from Section 702, which doesn't require a warrant for them to take your personal, private information, all right, to be able to spy on you. So that's the difference here. So when it comes to the policy, when it comes to getting rid of 702, yeah, totally. Ironically, I'm with Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene on the policy position. Let's get rid of 702. Let's require warrants, all right, for all Americans' private information. Considering we're a global society that talk to people all over the world, it makes no sense to allow so many people who've done nothing wrong to be surveilled by the government for talking to someone who lives overseas. It's ridiculous. Again, it's a violation of our privacy, all right? But when it comes to the reasoning, the difference here, the way that the reason the left doesn't like 702 is completely different. It's night and day from why people on the far right do not like Section 702. We have facts. We know that this doesn't work. We know this is a violation of our privacy. On their side, it's only because, Donald Trump. They have conspiracy theories, misinformation, and bullshit. Now, that said, if this ended up leading, if Donald Trump being against this ended up leading to the elimination of Section 702, wonderful, great. Unfortunately, it didn't. Unfortunately, now we still have this warrantless surveillance on American citizens and Americans living overseas. Okay? That's a disaster. And by the way, the other difference here is, again, the left wants to get rid of it because of privacy. The right wing, when they get into power, and remember, this was part of the whole reaction to the terrorist attacks of 2001. Okay? This was an overreaction by conservatives. A conservative government, a Republican government, put this into place. So you know that in the future, Donald Trump gets back into power, he's absolutely going to use this against his political enemies if he can. So that's the difference. Just be aware of that.